All right. Good morning, everyone. And I am so excited to be online this morning. I'm just going to wait for a second or two to see how many more of you can actually log in. And can you see me? Can you hear me properly? I've got a handful of viewers here on Insta. I think I'm going to go ahead and adjust it just a little. If you can't see me properly, do let me know. Hi, everyone on Facebook. So today I've got three live streams running. I've got one on my YouTube, one on Instagram, and one on my business Facebook page, which is Bitchbot. And I'm going to get kicked off because I'm like supercharged today and excited to be doing this quilling fun for kids. Oh my God, I hope some of you kids have joined me today because it's going to be so exciting. I've been preparing, making some really cute quilled pieces so I can show you and I can teach you how to make these. So before I start showing you what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be making, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Tina Gajjar and I am a quilling artist. Now, I wasn't always a quilling artist. I was actually in business like, most adults are, going to office, traveling around and working really long hours on their computers, on their phone all the time. But then I had my baby number two and I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to have fun with the kids. So I've got two little girls. I've got a 12-year-old girl and I've got a 3-year-old girl. So the 3-year-old girl is the one that actually lets me have so much fun. And my 12-year-old girl is the one that helps me so much. Now, grown-ups are great, but you know what? They also have responsibilities. So as you all know, your mummies and your daddies are working right now at home. And so here I am. I want to show you how to make some things with paper. Quilling is actually working with lots and lots of strips of paper. So let me show you. Very thin strips of paper that you use. You curl them, you fold them, and you roll them, and you make them into pretty little shapes. And you can make cars out of them. You can make things like what I have behind me, which is a unicorn. You can make letters. You can make rainbows. You can make so many things. It's unreal. That's how I started. I created my first unicorn and everybody loved it. So I thought, I'm going to make something else. And here I am a few years down the line and super excited to be teaching you what I have learned working with tiny little strips of paper. So today I'm going to show you how to make little froggies like this, and they're so simple. This you can use as your bookmark, and you can create this yourself at home using just paper and this little tool, or you can even use a skewer. You can use anything like this to roll the paper with. You don't necessarily need to have a tool like this, but it helps if you have this. Also, what you need is a little bit of glue. This is the standard glue that you guys would use at school with your teachers in your classrooms. It's just normal craft glue that you need. And that's pretty much all you need. Now be careful when you're working with this because your glue can get all over your hands. So always use a plate if you doing anything. And I have a funky little dancer plate that I love to use when I'm working because he makes me really happy. It's so crazy, right? We all, even adults, we need to have fun. And I have fun with my Santa plate. So, oh yeah, and the other thing I use is my subway card. I can't use a subway now, so I use my subway card for gluing. Right, so I'm going to show you how to make a froggy, which is so cute. It's just made up of simple shapes. I also made this little minion, as you can see, and again, it's very simple to make this, and I want to show you how to make that. Hi, Diksha, thank you for joining. Sure, no problem. Here we go. Guess what? I don't know how many of you remember this or how many of you know this, but I also made a little angry bird. Apparently, this guy is not angry. He's supposed to be the chilled out angry bird. Now, that doesn't make sense to me, but I think it's so cute. But can you believe this is all made out of paper? Can you use your finger Somebody's asked me to roll up the paper. Yes, you can. You just need a little bit of stickiness or a little bit of moisture in your finger to be able to curl the paper. What you might find useful if you're using your finger to roll the strip is having a little sponge with a little bit of water in it to keep your finger moist. You know, a lot of people have a habit of licking their finger. Don't do that. That's dirty. Lots of bacteria. And the last thing you want to do is play with bacteria right now. So take a little bit of sponge, put a little bit of glue in it, and then keep dipping your finger in water in it. Dip your finger in the sponge. That will make your finger a little bit sticky, and then you can take your paper and you can start rolling it so it doesn't slip away. So that's a bit about strips, glue, and the tools that you need. Okay, I'm going to show you something else that I made yesterday as well. Who knows these little things? The little emojis, we use them all the time on Facebook, on sending messages, on email. Everybody uses emojis. But guess what? I've got a little hangy thing, like a key ring, that I made a little emoji out of. Again, it's made out of paper. Can you believe that? And a teeny tiny little colorful snail. Now, I have to admit, this is not my original design. Somebody very clever made this, and I saw it, and I thought, I'm going to teach you guys how to make this. So all these are made using one very simple technique, which is called making type coil. So by type coil, I mean making something like this, which is strips that are rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled together lots of times. To make something like this, you need tons of strips. So if you haven't got strips, get mummies and daddies to go online onto my website, which is www.vishwa.com, and there is a template on there that you can print off, and using scissors or a knife, you can actually make the strips at home. Go to www.vishwa.com, download and print that layout, and you can make lots of strips at home. You don't necessarily need to go out and buy them. So, but if you do want to buy them, you can also buy them on my website if mummies and daddy want to get that. Okay. Right. To make this froggy, I'm going to show you what I did. Was I took one of these little things. I think they're like tongue press or some sort of a popsicle sticks. That's right, popsicle sticks. And they come like this. They're just normal popsicle sticks. And I didn't do anything except for use my marker that I have, and I just colored it a bit yellow. You see, I've only half colored it so I can show you. And I've got this really big fat marker, and all I've done is I've just used the marker to color it in. Okay, no biggie. You can use your poster paint, you can use your watercolors, you can use your acrylic paint, any paints that you have or any markers that you have. You can even make it really colorful in a rainbow if you wanted to. So you can do that. Hi, Shrina. Thank you for joining. Shrina, make sure your niece joins in and does this. I'm sure she's going to love doing this. Right. So how I made this was just using how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces of coils. That's all I did. I made 6 pieces of coils. So I made this one, which is a yellow one, and then I took some green strip and I put the green strip around it, okay? And I made that into a really tight coil that you can't do anything with, but it creates a lovely little body for our frog. What else I did was I created like a ring, and I will show you how to make a ring. You don't need many tools. You can even use your pencil to make a ring, but I'll show you how to do that. So I made one large ring, and I made tiny little rings to make them into their frog legs. And I made 2 little white rings, white coils, to make them into the eyes that I've got on top of the head of the frog. So let's get started. Let's get started and let me show you how to make these little babies. They're just so cute. I love working with these things. You know what? I have had the most fun preparing for this, and I've been so excited to show you guys this. Okay, I'm going to tip this camera down and you guys can actually see me just as you are. Hi, Sheila Didi. Everybody watching me, thank you so much for joining me. If there's anybody else that you think would enjoy doing this craft, go ahead and share it. Okay, so we're gonna need, for making these cute little froggies, like I said, we need a popsicle stick, but we'll use that last. We need some yellow strips. Okay, so I have some yellow strips here. Okay, these strips I actually made at home. Gonna need yellow strips. We're gonna need lots of them, lots and lots of them. So this little baby, this little cutie was made using 15 strips. There were 10 yellow strips and 5 green strips. So remember, 10 yellow strips that go on the inside and 5 green strips, 5 green strips that go on the outside. Okay, so we've got our yellow strips, and now I'm going to go ahead and get my green strips. You're going to need some glue. Okay, so go ahead and get your glue. And what I do, I have these little bottles. I don't use the big bottles of glue like this one. I like to use my little bottles. And those little bottles are great to take glue out. What you will also need is a cloth. Use a cloth or a tissue or something to keep wiping your fingers, because you don't want to have sticky fingers when you're working with paper, because what will happen is all the paper will get stuck on your fingers and you won't be able to have fun because everything will get really, really messy. Hi, Baralanti. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and glue these strips. You take one strip, you take a little bit of glue, and at the edge of the strip, go ahead and put a very tiny, tiny dab of glue. Okay, take another strip and join it together. Okay, a little bit like this. Can you all see? Join the two strips together. Now you've got a slightly longer strip. And keep doing this until you've got a very nice long strip. Okay, really nice long strip. You can keep making this, or you can actually start rolling it, and as you go along, attach a single strip at a time. You can use these thin strips that I'm using right here, or you can have slightly fatter or thicker strips if you want. If you want to make a big froggy, you can do that, right? Hi, my baby Sienna. Thank you for joining. I hope you're going to have lots of fun today. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my quilling tool, which has a teeny tiny little slot inside. It's got like a slice, and you can put your strip inside it. If you've got this tool, go ahead and slip your strip inside the tool and hold it using one finger. Once you've held it, okay, use your other hand and start rolling it. Like we're rolling it, and we keep rolling. I like making up songs because I've got a 3-year-old baby and she loves to sing. So I'm just forever singing with my little baby. She's cute. She's really, really lovely. So what I'm doing is I'm rolling and I'm rolling. I keep holding it down and I keep rolling this strip and this ball. Okay. And now you've got this very gorgeous little cute coil. What I'm going to show you, I'm not going to make the whole thing because I've already made it before, but just to show you how to attach another color of strip, I'll go to the end of my strip and I will go ahead and put some glue on. And now I'll introduce a green color to make the outside of the froggy's body. Okay, so here I've gone and attached the green one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to carry on rolling this. Okay, I'm creating this little coin-like strip. So now you can see I've got a green that's already started to go around. All right, I'm going to add one more green so you know how to do it. So remember, you're going to need 10 yellow strips to make the froggy's body, and you're going to need 5 green strips. Okay, now we've come to the end of the coil of our strip, and we're going to take some glue and put it at the end. Only very little though, don't just put too much on it, only very little. Now I've gone and glued it together. I'm going to remove it from my tool. Okay, and there you go. There I've made a little body. We're not going to use this because right now it's too small because I only use 4 yellow strips. But if I'd used 10 strips, then we would have had about this big. So this is what we are going to use. Then, now you know how to make a tight coil. Remember, this is a tight coil. Now we're going to make a ring. So this is a ring that I've made. And for the ring, there are actually a couple of ways you can make this ring. Vandana, thank you so much. I'm going to make a ring, and ring can be made using your tool, the back end of your tool. You can use a round pencil, okay, or a pen, or anything that's a little bit fat and round. You can find in your toolbox, in your toys, even a paintbrush, actually, a fat paintbrush. I've got a paintbrush here, but I think this might be a little bit too thin. So if you've got a nice fatter paintbrush, use that. I'm going to use this today. Am I going to use this? Actually, you have another tool which I haven't taken out today, but that's fine. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take my green strips. Okay, so here I have some green strips. Now these papers are quite thin, as you can see. They're quite wibbly wobbly, floppy little strips. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. You always start holding it together nicely, okay? And this time around, instead of having the glue on the inside, I'm going to have it on the outside. And the reason why I'm going to do that is so that my other side of the strip gets stuck into the inside and doesn't come apart. Did you see what I just did? I just created like a loop here around my tool. And I'll just keep going round and I'll hold it and keep going round. And if you're really good and you've got nice little sticky fingers, by dabbing them in your water sponge, you can hold them together and it won't slip. Your strip will be held nicely. I haven't got sticky fingers because I forgot my sponge and my water. So I'm going to use my nail, my tiny nail, and my fingers just to hold it in place. What I'm doing is I'm just curling it around, holding it in place. Maybe I want one more strip on here. So the big ring I actually made using three strips. I can't even do the 3, 4, using 3 strips. Okay, so I've got one strip on here. I'll go ahead and attach another strip. Okay, we're going to stick that together very slowly, gently. Want to make sure it's not wonky or anything like that. See, you can't even see where I've gone and attached the strip. Okay, and I'm going to carry on rolling it using my non-sticky fingers. It works. It's working. It's not slipping, which is good because sometimes when I'm doing this, it slips and it makes a huge mess. So I'm actually quite happy that this is working well. One more strip that we're going to attach to this. Okay. Remember what I said? You need 3 strips to make the big ring, to make the face of our little cute froggy. Okay. So now we're almost done. Oh, it can get a bit fiddly, so make sure your fingers are nice and sticky with water. Not too wet, just a little sticky. All right. And we've come to the end. I'm going to dab a little bit of glue on here. You might need an adult's help here if you want. So go ahead and stick this down. If you can do it by yourself, well done. Absolutely well done. So now I've made a little ring. There you go. I hope you guys can see this properly. Okay. And using my little tool, I'm just going to roll it and flatten it. If it's gone all winky wonky like this, don't worry about it. Just put it back on your mat. Oh yes, always use a mat if you're working on a table because you don't want the table to get dirty. That's what I do. I have 3 mats. I've got a pink one, a green one, and a blue one. I love working with my pink one. Can you see? I'm also wearing my pink top because pink is my favorite color. And look, my tool is also pink. In fact, a lot of my tools are pink. Oh, does that make me sound like a girly girl? But it's okay. So we've made a big ring, and that's going to be the face of the froggy. I keep forgetting my word. Sorry. And with the same way as we made the big ring, we're going to make two little rings, two teeny tiny little rings that will become the legs of the frog. I'll show you how to make the little ring now. Take your tool, take your glue, glue on the outside of your strip, okay? And I'm going to stick it down nicely, right? And using my non-sticky fingers again, I'm going to just roll it, and this time for the legs of your froggies, you're going to need two strips. Two strips for the legs, not three like the body, and not five. Sorry, not three like the head, and not five like the body. Okay, I'm sticking the second strip down. Oh, it's playing up with me. It's not letting me stick properly. It's getting fiddly. Okay, now I've got this ready. And I'm going to go ahead and roll it. Keep rolling and rolling, rolling. Oh, do you know something? As I say you're rolling, rolling, my favorite artist, singer, song comes into my head. I don't know how many of you know Tina Turner, like my name Tina. I love Tina Turner, and she's got a song, and she says, "Rolling on the River," and that always comes to my head when I'm doing this rolling, rolling. So now we've got a teeny tiny little ring that we've made for the legs, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to start. Oh, we've got to make the eyes. I forgot this. We've got to make two eyes. For the eyes, you're going to need white strips. So we've got some white strips right here. And for the white, for the eyes, we're not going to make a ring. We're going to make a simple tight coil. Okay? Using your tool, put that tool back into your strip and keep rolling it real quick. Nice and quick. Roll it out, roll it out. And really quickly stick it down. Don't make a mess though. And there you have a teeny tiny little eye. All right? Brilliant. Now that's done. We're going to start putting the frog together. How was that? Did you have fun? Was that interesting? Did that make sense? If it didn't make sense, let me know. Okay? Now we're going to start putting it together. And to put it together, I don't need all these strips here, so I'm going to tidy up. Always good to tidy up when you're working, even if it's a creative activity that you're doing. It's always fun working in a nice, tidy space, right? So now we've made the body, which is right here, using the yellow and the green. We've made the head, which is the big ring, which is right here. Now you'll say, well, that doesn't look the same. Well, it doesn't, because what I've done is I've gone and taken the big ring and I've pinched it. And when you pinch it, you just flap it slightly, and that becomes the head of your froggy. Isn't that fun? Just so simple. Something from a ring, from a round, you've now created an oval shape. But an oval shape is just a flattened circle, which is exactly what I did. Flattened it and made it into an oval shape. Okay? And then, what else have we done? We've made the eyes that go on top of the head. And now we're going to create the legs. Now the legs don't look the same as the ring, but guess what? If you pinch only one side this time, whoop, and it flies away. So that's lucky that we've got three of them, right? So you hold it in one side and you pinch only one side of it. Now you've created like a teardrop, okay? You just pinched it on one side and it's not an oval, it's now a teardrop. Okay, we're going to pinch it a little bit more on the same side. I'm going to take another leg, another ring, and we're going to do the same thing. Right, here we go. And we've done two legs. So now we're going to stick it all together. We've got the body. We have got the, where did the head go? The head. We've got two legs and we've got two eyes. Right? Time to do some gluing. Be careful, you might need an adult this time. And if you're a slightly grown-up kid, you know what to do. All right, so I'm going to dip this down so these guys can see it on YouTube. If you miss it, go ahead and watch it on YouTube because you'll be able to watch it all the time on my YouTube channel. Okay, so for the gluing, you can either use the PVA glue or you can use a very thick glue, which I use and put in my little cone. Okay, I use this one, my tacky glue. I love using this, it's so nice. And it sticks really quickly, but it can make your fingers really, 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 really sticky. So please be careful if you're using this glue. It's very thick, but it actually sticks stuff together real quick. And is that what I want to use right now? The glue's not coming out, so I might just use my cone, which is quicker. Is that going to work? Is it going to work? Yes. So the first thing we're going to stick is the head. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the body down, and the top of the body, I'm going to put a bit of glue on there. Remember I said always use a tissue or a wet wipe or a cloth or something, or even wipe it on your sponge. Then I'm going to take the head. And when I take the head, I'm going to very gently glue that down. And I'm going to press it together. And it should look like this when you're gluing it down. Yes, it looks a bit wonky right now, but that's okay, because once you release it, it'll look like this. All right? So we're going to put maybe a tad bit more glue. Have you guys been having fun at home? I hope you have. My children have. They've been playing in the garden. They've been doing their homework during the daytime. And for my 3-year-old, we also have a reward chart. So if she's done all her challenges of the day, she gets rewards. She gets a gold star at the end of it, which is really good. Okay, and now we've got this body that we've created, and we've got the head that we've stuck on. But now it's missing its legs and its cute little white big eyes. So we're going to go ahead and put the big white eyes on there. And what you do with that, you take the white eye that we made just now, put a little bit of glue on there, and stick it on top of the head, like so. Okay, stick it right on top like this. And then you take the other eye, put a little bit of glue on there, and you stick it on top like this. Make sure they're not wonky. You don't want wonky looking frog, do you? You can't have one eye here and one eye here. They gotta be on top. So make sure you put them right on top. Okay? So that's done. We've got nice, lovely looking froggy with eyes. But guess what? He doesn't have those black bits that we have in our eyes, because my other froggy, this guy here, has got little black dots in his eyes, doesn't he? But I'm going to show you how to put those black dots. So for the black dots, you can either use your marker. If you've got a black marker, you can just draw the marker on there. And if you've got black dots, which I have, I've got teeny tiny little black dots, I'm going to use that to put them on his eyes. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there and take my 2 black dots that I have. And my hands are really big and fat. I need to use my tweezers. When I use my tweezers, it makes it easier for me to pick up small things like this. So I use my tweezers and I stick them down like so. And now we have a cute little froggy. Okay. Oh no, but he doesn't have any legs now. How are we going to put the legs down? So remember, we made these 2 legs from round rings, right? So to stick the legs down, you take the leg and you put a little bit of glue on one side of it. Okay? There's no right side and there's no wrong side. The only thing you have to remember is the pointy bit at the end of the ring goes at the bottom of the frog. Not at the top, not at the side, but at the bottom. And we're going to stick that down. And we'll take the other ring that we flattened. I'm going to put a bit of glue on one side of it. Yeah. And we're going to stick the other pointy bit on the bottom. And now, what do we have here? We have a cute little dude. I think he's really cute. Okay, there we go. How about that? Isn't that cute? And wasn't that fun? I hope you guys can make something like this at home. Go ahead and get yourself some strips, a tool, maybe a tool like this, like I have here, or maybe you want to use a skewer, or maybe just your finger. Roll your strips out over into a coil like this that I showed you. Remember, you need 10 yellow strips and 5 green strips to make the body. You need 3 strips to make the head ring. You need 2 strips to make the legs and 1 white strip for each of the eyes. All right, there we go. I hope you like this. Now, what else would you like to watch me make? Would you like me to show you how to make this? Or would you like me to show you how to make this? Or should I make this guy here? Okay. Let's do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What are we going to make? Oh no, actually, we're missing one thing, aren't we? We're missing this little guy. I think I like him. What's this guy's name? Tree? What's this guy's name? This guy is Bob. You know what? I like the name Bob. I'm going to make Bob. Let's make Bob. So to make Bob, you're going to need a few strips. You're going to need some very, very thin strips and some thick strips, like the ones I showed you before, like these ones, the 5mm ones, remember? Okay, going to need those. Then to make his teeny tiny little eye, the wicked eye that he has, the really cool one, you're going to need a thinner strip than that. So what you can do is you can take this strip and you can cut that in the middle to make your thin strip, or you can get some ready-made ones like these, and which are really thin, really, really thin. You can use that to make your coils. So what we're going to do is to make his body, we're going to need, this was a lot of strips. This was 20 strips that I used to make his body. That's a lot of strips. And if I showed you how to make those right now, we'd be here forever. So we're not going to do that. But like I showed you before, you make a ring like this. You don't use a green one, just like we did for the frog. You just use yellow. But I'll show you how to make a small one. Maybe using 5. Okay, a 5 one. For those of you that just joined me, I'll show you how to make a ring. Not a ring, sorry, a coil, a very tight coil. So we're going to take your yellow strip, same one as we used before. Put your glue on. Oh, look, it's dried up. The thing with glue is if you don't use it immediately, it will dry up. And if it dries up, don't worry. Go ahead and remove the top part of it and it will start flowing through. Okay, so here we have 2 strips. And we're going to use some more strips. Oh, can you believe we've actually been doing this for half an hour now? And I'll quickly show you how to do this. So take lots and lots of strips. So take 20 of these yellow strips. Make a really, really long strip out of it. And it will be all over the floor. That's okay. Just be careful not to tread on it. Okay? And then using your tool, and maybe if you want to use something like this, which helps you hold up the ring or the coil, you can use that, but you don't necessarily have to if you're really good. Or you can get an adult to help you do this. Make a ring real quick. Yeah, I do this all the time. Hi, Mohini. And that's why I can do it really fast, but you don't have to do it this fast. It doesn't matter if you're slow. What matters is that you do it right. Okay? You don't always have to be the fastest person. You don't always have to be the quickest. But as long as you're doing it right, that's the most important thing. Yeah, if you do it really fast, you might find that you're ruining what you're working on. That's why you have to take your time, enjoy what you're doing, and that's the best part of it. Okay, so now I've made a little coil, and I'm just going to stick that down. Remember what I said, you need 20 strips to make this big coin-like coil, okay? To make the face of, where's the guy gone? Bob keeps running away from me. this Bob, we're going to make Bob. And this is a bookmark. And my daughter's going to use that for her reading. She loves to read her books, and she's got tons and tons of books. And she's reading all the time. So we're going to take this, and what we're going to need is a black strip. We're going to need a black, very thin strip. You can also use a marker, actually, if you want, to draw his little side band where he's got his eye. Okay, you can use a marker, you can draw this on there, but I've got this very, very thin strip, so I'm going to use that. All right, so you don't need much, you just need about 5 centimeters of a strip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this strip on this thing right here. Okay, I'm going to glue that down. I'll put some glue on my strip. Here we go. Remember, always use a mat when you're working on any craft. Whether you're painting, whether you're sketching, whether you're doing clay work, anything at all, when you're doing cutting, always use a mat because you don't want to ruin your dining table or your desk or anything like that. So I've just gone and stuck the band, which is a little black strip around it. And I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to trim the end right there. Okay, so now we have a band for a little dude, Bob. So to make the eye, what we're going to need is, how did we make the eye? We made the eye using black, white, and grey. So we joined 3 colors together to make Bob's eye. Can you see he's got this little black thing in the middle, then he's got a white ring around it, and then he's got a grey ring around it. So we're going to use 3 colors. Do you remember how we made the yellow and the green one? Yellow and the green one? So we're going to do it in the same way, but this time around they're going to be much shorter. So take a little bit of black strip, not much, maybe about, let's see, about 10 centimeters of black strip. Okay, remember 10 centimeters of a black strip. And then we're going to take some white strip, which I have right here. And we're going to need about, let's see. I'm just trying to measure in my head, and we're going to need 20 centimeters. And I've got a mat that has measurements on it, so I can just measure it on here. We're going to need 20 centimeters white, and then we're going to need grey. And for the grey, I'm just thinking how much grey I'm going to use. Grey, not that much, maybe another 20 centimeters, but you can always take a longer strip and then decide for yourself what you're going to do. Yeah, there was a problem on my Instagram feed, so I apologize for that. All right, I'm going to take 20 centimeters of grey, and now I'm going to stick all the 3 strips together. So grey will go on the outside, the white will go in the middle, and the black will go on the inside. Now this will be fiddly, so if you have the curling tool, remember the pink one that I'm using with the slot, this one, it'll be very useful to have that. So we're going to take the black, put that into our tool, and we're going to roll it up. Okay, here we go. And I've started rolling up. Can you see we've started making the black in the middle? And now the white has been formed. And now we've also got the grey coming through very slightly. Now that the grey is done and come to the end, we're going to close that up by putting a little bit of glue on the end. Stick it all down very gently, hold it in place, and then remove your eye from your tool. Now we're ready to put the eye on this little guy. Ha! That rhymes! Put some glue on the eye, on the back of it, and then make sure you're holding it properly in the middle, and you glue that high down, right in the middle. Boom. Okay, can be a bit fiddly, so always place it on your mat when you're gluing. There we go. We've got the dude ready. And then the only thing that we've got remaining for Bob is his mouth. Now the mouth, what I've done is I've cut a little black mouth from a piece of paper. But what you can do is you can take a marker or your pen and you can draw whichever way you want to draw the face on here. Okay? So I'm going to use my black pen. Where's my black pen? I thought I had a black pen here. Or I can use my strip, the black strip that I had. I can use my black strip, actually, with my tweezers because I have very fat fingers. So we can use the black strip and you can make your face like this. Here we go. You can glue that down. Let's see if that works. Tiny bit of glue on your black strip that I've very tiny cut. Pick it up with your tweezers and stick it down. There we go. And there we have Mr. Bob. You can use that as a magnet. You can put that on another card and make that into your bookmark. You can do so many things. You can just have this sitting on your table. Or you can make that into a keyring like I made here. All right, so there we have how to make coils, just simple coil and loads and loads of different shapes. You can make loads of different things that you can make using those coils. And I've done the same thing with the snail. I've taken lots and lots of colors. Can you see? Lots of colors. And I've made them into a big coil. And then I've taken lots of yellow coils, all the different sizes, with two white heads and its little black antennas on here. And I hope you guys have so much fun doing this and you do this at home. If you make these things at home, do send the pictures to me because I'd love to see what you guys have made. My email address is info@vishwat.com, or you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook with a picture. That will be so amazing to see. I hope you guys had so much fun because I did, and I can't wait to show you what we're going to do on Wednesday. So if you had fun watching this today and you want to learn more about quilling and creating cute little things, join me on Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock because on Wednesday we're going to be working with making rainbows. Rainbows. I love rainbows. And you can actually quilt a rainbow as well. Like, where's my rainbow gone? There it is. So I made this rainbow using quilling and tiny strips of paper. Lots and lots of tiny strips of paper. So on Wednesday, I'm going to show you how to make something similar to this using coils, loose coils, and other methods of quilling, which are really easy to do, fun to do, and you can do so much with it. So join me on Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and I'll be so excited to show you how to make a rainbow. But before you join me, get on my website and download this template so maybe you can go ahead and start making it with me. Again, if you don't have any strips, go onto my website, download the template, and start making those strips in readiness for Wednesday. I can't wait. I hope you had fun. I'm looking forward to working with you guys again on Wednesday. You guys be good, stay indoors, and have lots of fun in your gardens. Lots of love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye now.